At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Good morning, everyone. Meteorologist Mike Krueger. You're watching Coffee with Krueger. It is Thursday, May 2nd. Can you believe it? We're in May. And can you believe we're going to be talking about temperatures dropping down to the 60s in May? It's going to be an interesting weekend, folks, because we're going to see about a 20-degree drop from Friday to Saturday. More on that a little bit later here, but let's get into, first and foremost, getting you into what some people might be thinking about and talking about. Of course, I did a post on Facebook yesterday. As you know, I'm a media sponsor for the Reading Rodeo. And a lot of people were asking, you know, are you going to be doing ticket giveaways, all that good stuff. And you know what? I got them all right here. I have got tickets for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So, starting next week, right here on Coffee with Krueger, I'm still kind of ironing out the details how we're going to do this, but we're going to figure out ways to do a giveaway for these tickets. So, if you've been kind of holding out or you're wondering if you should get tickets, well, you will have a chance to win free tickets through Weather NorCal to the Reading Rodeo. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Tell your friends, tell your family to watch Coffee with Krueger in the morning, starting at 7 a.m. And next week, we'll iron out the details on how to go about doing that contest. In the meantime, let's get you to the forecast, shall we? Of course, what we try to do here at the very top of the show is for those of you who just want to get an idea, get a quick picture of what the weather is going to be like for the day, to get yourself out the door, to get your kids out the door. This is the place to go in the morning. Before we get to that, I want to remind you of a free Weather NorCal app. If you can't watch Coffee with Krueger, or for some reason you can't watch my weather update, you can go to the phone, your iPhone, your Android device, and get your forecast for the day and your 7-day forecast as well. You can also watch what you're watching right now live from your Roku or Amazon Fire Stick. And most TVs these days are smart TVs. They've got YouTube on them. You can go to the YouTube channel for Weather NorCal, search for Weather NorCal, and you can watch the 24-hour streaming channel. Now, when I'm not on with Coffee with Krueger, there's some great content on there for the weather and even some fun specialized programming. So be sure to check that out. Wanted to start off by taking a look at those lake levels. They are just looking better and better. And Lake Oroville has been climbing 1 to 2 feet every 24 hours. Look at how far Lake Oroville is from the crest. Just under 4 feet from the crest. Lake Shasta, just a little over 6 feet, and Trinity Lake, of course, still, again, especially when you compare it to years past, these numbers are phenomenal. So great news there. There is some rain that we did see this morning hit through the extreme northern California in Siskiyou, Del Norte, even Humboldt County saw a little bit of that rain. And not to mention out towards Modoc County as well. And speaking of that rain, you can clearly see some of the rain that we did see along the coast. This is what it looks like out at Elk Country, north of Trinidad this morning. There you can see some of the wet roads and the wet pavement that we have out there as well. Take a look at this. I want to show you what it looks like. Let me get this loaded up here. I want to show you what it looks like in Crescent City right now. And there you can see, yeah, it's a little wet out there this morning as well. You have the overcast skies, you know, and it's just wet out there. Of course, that's from the rain that we saw out there this morning. I'm going to take you back to the Elk Country here so we can get you back to the weather computer and get you all situated with that. But there you can see, of course, that wet weather that moved through this morning. Things have begun to dry out, but we still have an area of low pressure that is just to the north and to the west of Portland. As that low pressure system dives to the south and east, we'll be looking at some of that rain moving in. Right now, we're sitting in the low to mid 50s in the valley. Winds not as strong this morning as they were yesterday, but they will be picking up here later on this afternoon. So you can see the winds again, really not that strong. But as we go through the afternoon, we're going to get back into that 20 to 30 mile an hour range, especially for the second half of the day today. They're going to be just as strong as they were yesterday. There's 5 p.m. over 30 miles per hour. What I find interesting is I did mention yesterday, I was not expecting yesterday's wind event to be a big deal. I wasn't expecting widespread power outages. It was just going to be blowing the pollens around, and that was really about it. And that's essentially what happened. And then on top of that, the National Weather Service at around 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon allowed the wind advisory to expire before 5 p.m. So again, the winds just didn't quite materialize as the Weather Service had anticipated. Now, I wasn't expecting it to be terribly strong myself, but, you know, that's for another day. Let's take a look at our forecast for today. Quick glance at your neighborhoods. Breezy, borderline windy in the valley again today. Isolated showers for the north coast, Siskiyou, Modoc County. That's mainly through the morning hours, by the way. By the afternoon, I think it'll be mainly dry for everyone later this afternoon. You can see that on Futurecast. There's 9 a.m., there's 10 a.m. Again, see just a few scattered showers, sprinkles here and there. That's about it. And then going through the afternoon today, it pretty much clears out, although you can see out in Lassen County, maybe a stray shower this afternoon. But overall, it's going to be a fairly dry day today and warm too, in the mid to upper 70s to about 80 in the valley. And for the mountains in the 50s, some 60s, warmer spots like Susanville at about 70, 66 in Bernie and Shingletown about 67. And for the coast in the upper 50s, low 60s, again, most of those showers you see there on the map there is going to be in the morning. Breezy, windy for today and even tomorrow, with temperatures peaking on Friday for the valley. Showers and thunderstorms. Stick around for the main deep dive forecast because we're going to be talking about the timing. You know, I was thinking we're going to be looking at rain all day long on Saturday. That may not be the case. In fact, it may be a morning event and then maybe some clearing, maybe some scattered showers and thunderstorms on Saturday, but not as widespread and long-lived as expected. There's a look at Saturday for the coast, inland, and Weaverville. Again, looks ominous, but keep in mind that the main rain event for everyone, really for the coast and the valley, will be in the morning, and then in the late morning to early afternoon for the eastern mountains on Saturday, right? But then you can see it does begin to dry out. Now, there still is a chance for a leftover sprinkle or a light shower for the coast and the mountains on Sunday. And then on Monday, there's going to be a weak disturbance that'll clip to our north. And that could give some of us in the mountains, in particular in the coast, a chance for a few scattered showers out there. Let's go and take a look at what's going on out there with everybody. And we got a happy Friday from Friday Eve. It's Friday Eve. Yes, Friday Eve. Friday Junior, as an old colleague of mine used to say. Good morning from Deborah and Nick Woods. How about Sandra Stern saying good morning to everybody to enjoy your day? Elaine is saying good morning. How about a great cup of coffee? If Thursday is still your dessert night, have a great dessert. Have a good one. It is. It still is. I'm trying to avoid sugar even more than I ever have. I'm learning more and more things about health and what you should and shouldn't eat. And sugar is pretty bad, folks. So, you know, we'll see. I think I'm limiting my sugar intake, but I'm still, you know, this was my mom's tradition. I loved her to death, and I like to keep some of the traditions that she had going. So, yeah, I may still try to do some of that. Good morning from Jackie. Good morning from Trinidad. Yes, it is wet this morning. There's a look at your camera. Of course, this is just north of Trinidad. This is elk country. Do we have any elk out there? You know, we rarely see that we're elk out there when we have the camera out. But I've been out there, folks. I camp there a lot. We camp there a lot. And the elk, they'll come right through your campsite. It's so neat. But yeah, it's wet out there this morning without a doubt. So yes. Curtis saying good morning from 7 miles west of Red Bluff. Wind gusts were under 20 miles per hour yesterday. So again, you know, it wasn't a big deal for most cases. But we did see gusts. The peak gust I did see, at least in the valley, was around 31 miles per hour yesterday. We'll take a look at those a little bit later in the main deep dive forecast as well. That's good news, Mike, from Deborah. We have rodeo in Etna so there's a rodeo in Etna this Sunday. How fun is that? Good morning from Lynn, and good morning from Jeff Johnson. Well, today is Thursday. And before we get to that, let's take a look at some of those cameras out there this morning if you're heading out. There, of course, we're looking at some of the traffic in Chica. We're seeing some of the traffic on Highway 99 at Neal Road. We're taking a look at how things are looking right now in Redding. And yes, traffic is just moving along. People heading out to work, maybe getting those kids out to school this morning. There's like at Lake Oroville. Looks a little breezy this morning. The wind's kind of blowing the water around a bit, making a few ripples in the water, but nothing major there. All right, today is Thursday. We've got our NorCal Ag Report. I was able to take a break from all of the NorCal Ag, and I was able to call on my buddy Jerry O'Lennon, who will be doing regular reports for us. And, you know, as we expand and do more things in the community, we'll see if we can get Jerry to do some other reports outside of NorCal Ag. But for now, we have a NorCal Ag report sponsored by Lassen County Nursery, and it comes to you from Jerry O'Lennon in Butte County.
Hi, I'm Jerry O'Lennon with Weather NorCal, and this is the Ag Report sponsored by Lassen Canyon Nursery. I'm at the M&T Ranch in Chico, Butte County, and I am with Lee Herringer, who represents that organization. The news when it comes to the crop season in Butte County is not optimistic. Explain what's happening.
Yeah, it's not optimistic. So, you know, Butte County is known for a few crops, almonds, walnuts, rice, prunes, and really most of those, three of those four that I listed, the prices are really bad right now. Walnuts and almonds, which we have behind us, the walnut side, it's almost historic lows. We're farming, you know, for fun right now. We're not making any money, and farming for fun is not very much fun.
Why is it? What's happening?
Well, there's all sorts of different reasons. You know, going all the way back to COVID. You know, COVID kind of messed up the supply chains. It messed with the ports, the port issues. They couldn't get product overseas. And some of our competitors in other countries that grow walnuts kind of took advantage of that. It's affecting growers is who it's affecting. And not only growers, but everyone who supplies us products, who supplies us goods, people we sell to, everyone's being affected right now, because if farmers aren't making any money, they're not putting any inputs into the orchards. There's a lot of bad things that are happening because of that. You know, some of the chemical suppliers, equipment manufacturers, everyone's hurting because there's no money. No, it's just market conditions. I think that we just have to continue making a good quality crop that California is known for, and we're just gonna have to ride this one out. You know, there's highs and lows in agriculture, and this is definitely a low. We're seeing a lot of our you know, smaller neighbors having to sell the farm because they can't afford to pay the bills, and that's sad. That's terrible. We don't want to see that.
Is there a chance it could get so bad where there's just not enough farmers here in this area?
Well, I don't think so, because there are larger organizations that can kind of absorb some of these detriments a little bit better. So like I said, some of the smaller guys, you know, the family farms, hate to see it, but a lot of these guys are having to fold it up, you know, multiple generations. But there are larger entities that are able to kind of absorb some of those difficulties a little bit better and kind of ride it a little bit more. But, you know, it's going to get better. It's just a matter of when.
Well, on that encouraging note, we'll end this episode of the Ag Report. We'll talk to you next time. Thanks so much for sharing the information, even though it's something we would rather not hear.
Sure. Thanks for coming out.
And that's your Ag Report. See you next time on Weather NorCal.
So, you know, it obviously was kind of, you know, we try to focus on the positive, but, you know, it is a bit of that reality. You know, agriculture can have its ups and downs. And it sounds to me like in Butte County that they're in a bit of a downward trend right now. And you know, it doesn't sound so great. But be sure to watch next week, because Jerry's going to be talking to the same gentleman and kind of try to put it more of a positive spin and talk more about some more positivity. But you know, every once in a while we do have to have that little taste of reality, right? And so hopefully they can recover from this and we start to see things get better and better out there in Butte County. All right, this was kind of fun. During the Ag Report, I thought I'd take a look at this because, you know, there's that Etna Rodeo. It's the 76th annual May Rodeo on Sunday. Now, here's the cool part. You know, we're talking about all that rain and thunderstorms on Saturday, but if the rodeo is on Sunday, it's going to be dry most likely. Now, there still may be a few stray showers in that area in Siskiyou County, but it'll be interesting. So I just thought I'd kind of just show you here. This is what it looks like May 5th. It's Cinco de Mayo. that they will do that. And by the way, I've actually had an opportunity in Mexico. I was in Baja, Mexico, and was able to check out a rodeo there. It was kind of fun to check out there the way they do things. But check it out if you're heading out. If you want to get a little taste of rodeo before the Reading Rodeo, maybe head out to Etna. And I understand there's also one in Cottonwood here coming up soon as well. If there's anybody who knows about the one in Cottonwood, hey, shoot a line down there, and we'll kind of talk about that. We got someone, Lynn Jones, saying this weekend is the Western Classic Archery is at Straight Arrow Bow. Oh, the Straight Arrow Bow Hunters Range in Reading. Good luck to all of the competitors and hope for a manageable weather. Yeah, so Saturday morning, yeah. But Saturday afternoon, I think they might be okay. There's still going to be some showers and some possible thunderstorms too. Speaking of ag, May is beef month. Support our local ranchers. And of course, our big sponsor, Lassen County Nursery, which is owned by Kenny Elwood. Kenny Elwood has a great ranch. He takes big pride in his ranches for beef. Is in the process of looking for restaurants and all that good stuff. So yeah, beef month, huh? All right. Beef, it's what's for dinner, right? Cool. All right. Well, thank you, Rebecca, for that little tidbit of information. I certainly appreciate that. Let's go ahead and get you to the forecast now. We talk about this, and of course, we've got that chance for rain in there, and we're going to talk about that here in just a second. But before we get to that, I do want to, of course, bring up our sponsor. We can't forget about our sponsors. Folks, remember this. Sometimes people say, oh, I hate commercials, all that kind of stuff. What we have to remind ourselves is that these free services that you see on TV or whatnot, commercials are what make it possible. So without my sponsors, Weather NorCal would not exist. All right, so we have to thank and be grateful for places like Wind River Resort and Casino for sponsoring Coffee with Krueger. Because at Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. All right, let's go and take a look at that radar out there. And yes, we did see some rain this morning out towards Siskiyou County. Looks like Del Norte and northern Humboldt County saw a little bit of wet weather as well. You saw the image there out just north of Trinidad in Elk Country, some of the wet weather that they saw there. Also, looks like Modoc County saw a little bit of that wet weather as well. But notice, pretty much just kind of fizzled out. But the main area of low pressure that's producing this, it's kind of sliding up to our north and will be moving kind of to the south and east. It'll stay to our north, but you can see a few more showers that are just beginning to approach Siskiyou and even Modoc County at this point. There's probably more coming in behind that as well. Right now we're sitting at 52 degrees for Reading, 63 in Chico. I'm going to double check that. You know what? I'm going to take a look at the see what's going on. I don't know what kind of information there. Maybe the wind's kind of picked up, but I'm going to double check that. I'm all about accuracy, folks. Let's take a look at the current conditions in Chico based off of the internet. Because the internet. Well, all right. 63. The winds are blowing a little bit, and that's kind of what's keeping things a little bit warmer down there. But there you can see 33 degrees for Bernie. Temperature is much warmer in many of the higher elevations because the winds are blowing a little bit. That's all you need is those winds to blow a little bit and maybe even a little bit of cloud cover, and that prevents those temperatures from really dropping down. So continued breezy, windy today, especially in the valley, but we do have a warming trend the rest of the week. Showers return this weekend with thunderstorms, mountain snow, and along with that storm system is some cold air. Talking about mountain snow, we're going to be talking about those snow levels, possibly as low as 3,000 feet. For a short period of time in May. Crazy, right? But we also have a huge temperature drop. We're going from the low 80s for the valley to the low 60s in less than 24 hours. Now take a look at the winds we saw yesterday. You may recall, I was talking about the wind advisory, I was kind of trying to downplay it a little bit because I was not expecting the winds to be all that big of a deal. Quite honestly, that's essentially what happened. The strongest winds we saw was in Red Bluff and Chico at about 31 miles per hour. Oroville 30. Reading saw a peak gust of 28. There you can see Alturas 21. A little gusty out there along the coast as well at about 29 miles per hour Eureka. But bottom line is this. The projections were upwards of 40 miles per hour. And I mentioned that, but I said it's probably going to be closer to that 30 mile an hour range. Eventually, what happened was, because the winds never really materialized, beyond what we saw here, that the Weather Service actually allowed the wind advisory to expire about 3 to 4 hours sooner than 5 o'clock. Kind of interesting, but I do expect more of those winds again here for today. Now, take a look at the peak gusts that we'll see around this afternoon. Once again, 20 to probably maybe even over 30 miles per hour in the valley, much like yesterday. We take you into Friday morning, right? The winds are dying down a bit, but as the cold front approaches from the west, with that rain coming in, those winds will be picking up, especially as we go into your Saturday afternoon. Once again, those gusts probably over 30 miles per hour. So the wind's still kind of playing a factor here. Here's the storm track, the area of low pressure that's producing the rain that we saw this morning. You see how that's all kind of just shifting to the south and east. There's a little bit of a spin right here, and it's moving down to the south and east, and will eventually kind of track up to the northeast. But this right here, that's the storm system I've got my eyes on. We'll take a closer look at Futurecast now and walk you through the timing of it all. All right, so this afternoon, yeah, again, mainly this morning, Siskiyou, northern Del Norte, parts of Modoc County, maybe even northern Lassen County, may see a stray shower, especially this morning, but by the afternoon, chances are going to be slimmer. Friday morning, it's a dry start to the day. We're beginning to see that cold front approach Friday around noon. There's some of the rainfall, right? Now we're going to take you into Friday at 6 p.m. Here's the leading edge of the rain. This is the rain. You can see in advance of it, it's actually picking up on a little bit of activity trying to develop. But really overall, this is what we've got our eyes on Friday evening. So late in the day, Del Norte, northern Humboldt County, seeing the rain begin to kick in at that point. All right, but the first half of the day on Friday will be dry for the North Coast. All right, let's take you into midnight. So this is Friday night, early Saturday morning. Look at this rain. I mean, this is the main cold front right here. So we're beginning to see some of that rain in the north end of the valley. So we'll begin to notice around Redding, northward, Mount Shasta, Doris, Wairika, seeing the rain, and not to mention that heavier rainfall that we are seeing to the north and west, stretching southward into Eureka and Garberville, seeing some of that rain as well. But look at Alturas, Aden, Susanville, Portola, Eastern Mountains still dry. But this is when most of us are asleep, unless you're out partying and having a good time. But there you can see Friday night, early Saturday morning, it's dry to the east. Now we're going to progress through time. It's a quick mover, folks. Look at this. By 5 a.m., here's the main cold front right here. Now you see this right here. We'll see if this materializes, but this could be what we call that convergence zone, where you see strong winds coming in from the south, right? And that could produce a bit of a convergence line right here, and it could produce some very heavy rainfall for an extended period of time. We'll see what happens with that. But you'll also notice now at this point, we're starting to see more snow in the forecast. We can't forget to talk about the snow, because it will start fairly high, 6,000 feet or higher, for late Friday night, early Saturday morning. Then look what happens. By 9 a.m., here's the cold front right here. All right. You see the heavy rainfall now. So by 9 a.m., now we're seeing the heavy rainfall for the Eastern Mountains, Modoc County. And there you can see the snow too. Now snow levels at this point, maybe down to about 4,000 or 5,000 feet. But look at behind this. Remember the last few days, and really since the beginning of talking about this rain, talking about, kind of being a widespread rain. We're going to be looking at heavy rain throughout the day. But really, it may, at this point, looks like it's going to be a morning event when we see the heaviest rainfall kicking in. Now, what we can't forget is this. Look what's happening. I'm going to take you to about the noon hour now. So you see how behind it we're still seeing some instability and some showers and maybe some thunderstorms in the eastern mountains. Look at the valley. Now, Futurecast right now is not projecting any rain through the afternoon in the valley. I don't agree with that, because look at here. You see you have the colder unstable air, maybe some showers and thunderstorms by noon for the mountains and along the coast as well, not to mention Siskiyou, Modoc County, and of course to the east, but dry in the valley. But here's the key. You see what's happening? You see how things are clearing out. The colder air is in place, folks. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to see heating because we have the sunny skies or partly cloudy skies. That heat through the afternoon will start to rise into the colder air aloft. That right there is a definition of an unstable atmosphere, at least one of the definitions of an unstable atmosphere. So as we go through the afternoon, I think we could see thunderstorms develop here, scattered, isolated. We don't know exactly where it will be, but everyone in the valley will have that chance. 5 p.m. Saturday, here you can see the scattered showers, maybe some thunderstorms in the mountains, and not to mention that snow. Now, the snow will be down to about 4,000 feet at this point, even on Saturday evening, but it will lower as we go into Saturday night. Now, here is the Storm Prediction Center looking at the severe outlook for Saturday. It's only got this little sliver here to the north and west. But again, I think that as we get closer to Saturday, we may start to see more of this green for a good portion of Northern California on Saturday. We'll see. We're still 3 days out here, so we still got some time to kind of really iron things out. Now, when we look at, this is going off of what we just looked at, right? The rain, heaviest rain is in the morning, and then it pushes to the east. So because it's moving through so quickly, we just won't see a ton of rainfall. You're talking maybe upwards of a quarter to, at most in the north, maybe a half an inch. But look at this little rain shadow area we have for Corning and Willows, not as much rainfall. Now, we're seeing a lot of rainfall, as you can see, along the coast, and not to mention off to the north and east. Looks like some heavier rainfall there. Now, this is including maybe the potential, this is not including my projection of maybe seeing some scattered showers and thunderstorms, so some of these numbers would maybe be a bit higher as a result. Now, let's take a look at a longer range forecast model and see what it's projecting through Saturday. You see how it's projecting more rainfall, maybe upwards of an inch for places like Redding and Red Bluff and Chico. So this one not necessarily projecting that system moving through as quickly. You see, when we're not looking at the long range forecast model, we're looking at the shorter range, you're able to iron out more details. It's a much more precise instrument to use when forecasting. So when you're using the, we talk about the American and the European forecast model. We talk about that a lot, right? But those are longer range forecasts. It's not as precise. So when you're looking at rainfall totals and even snowfall totals from those longer range forecast models, it's usually not very accurate and it's usually not very reliable. And that's essentially what we're looking at here. It's kind of taking a combination of what we call an ensemble, but you get the idea. I think it might be overproducing some of these rainfall totals that you're seeing here. Although, that being said, I think it's fairly accurate along the coast. All right, it's just something I needed to kind of mention out there. Now let's talk about snow. And now that we have the more fine-tuned forecast, remember yesterday when I showed you the snow totals from the long range? It was just showing a ton of snow over all of the mountains in the Sierra. But now that we have the more fine-tuned forecast model, look at the snow. It's not as impressive, is it? And that's to be expected. You go above 6,000, 7,000 feet. Yeah, Mount Shasta, the peak there. There's Lassen Peak. That's where we're seeing the most snow because you have to go up pretty high in elevation to see that snow. So are we going to see accumulating snow in any of our mountain communities? Chances are very slim. Yes, it could drop down to as low as 3,000 feet Saturday night. So this is not taking into account Saturday night into Sunday. So as we start getting more information on that, we'll see what happens. But as it stands right now, at least through the day on Saturday, I don't expect any accumulating snow for most of the mountain communities. All right, here's the big picture. Now we're going to take you through time. This is the storm system we got our eyes on. That's the colder air associated with. There's the cold front right here. Then we go into your Saturday. You see how the main area of low pressure stays to our north, but that's bringing in some colder air. And this particular forecast model also agrees that we'll probably maybe see some clearing by Saturday afternoon. Sunday, it shoots off to the east. Still, I think you see these disturbances, so I still think many of the mountains, coast could see a stray shower, but I think the valley should be dry on Sunday. Monday, you see this right here, a little bit of a disturbance up to our north. That could bring maybe a stray shower on Monday, but we're looking at the winds too. Those winds will probably begin to pick up on Monday, Tuesday, and maybe even into Wednesday. But look at this, as we go into Wednesday, Thursday, an area of low pressure to our east may dive down to the south. Now this one, earlier forecast model had it right over us. Not really buying this just yet. But high pressure should start to build in towards the end of next week, and that will allow our temperatures to increase. And yeah, once we get past this weekend, most likely looking at drier than normal conditions, and on top of that, warmer than normal conditions as well. All right, here's a look at your wave heights. There you can see those temperatures, those wave heights are going to start to drop going into your Friday morning. But you see that going up right there? That may mean an increase in those wave heights going into your Saturday. So here's your marine forecast. Winds from the west at 5 to 10 knots. Waves from the northwest at 4 feet at 8 seconds. There's your high and low tide for today, your sunrise and sunset. and that chance for showers, especially in the morning. Chances will diminish in the afternoon. All right, here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. So let's talk about chances for rain. Dry today, tomorrow, mainly morning, afternoon, and then there you can see maybe a chance for a few stray showers. Sunday, Monday, even for the mountains and coast, don't anticipate a lot of rainfall. It's going to be mainly a Saturday morning event for the coast in Trinity County. There you can see temperatures today are going to be in the low to even some mid 60s for your daytime highs. Your southern Humboldt County North Coast forecast, there you can see temperatures are going to be in the mid to even upper 60s inland along the coast, still in those low 60s. Taking a look at places like Ferndale, Fortuna, 58 Hydesville, 57 for Odell. Maybe a chance for an isolated shower this morning, but through the afternoon the chances diminish. That should say rain on Saturday, not Friday. That's a typo on my part. Ignore that. That should say rain right there. And then chance for, it'll be dry on Friday, by the way. And then we go into Sunday, Monday, and there you can see that chance for showers. All right, let's take you up north. And yes, okay, so we've got that rain on Saturday for places like Hoopa. 60 degrees in Blue Lake, 61 degrees for Trinidad today. All right, let's take you up north out towards Smith River with 61. There still could be a chance for a few showers on Friday, especially late in the day, because as you saw, that cold front, it's approaching, and the northwestern portions of the state could see some rain by late in the day on Friday, and then coming in Friday night and Saturday morning. There's your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast. Dry for Friday, although by Friday evening, Friday night, we'll probably start to see some of that rain begin to move in. Same situation for Scott Valley. Now, of course, we just learned that in Etna, you've got a rodeo going on Sunday. So the main event will be Saturday morning, maybe some thunderstorms, just a chance for a few stray showers. But I would not anticipate it to be a big deal. Just maybe bring your umbrella or a poncho or something just to keep you dry in case you see a stray shower pass through. But it won't last for very long if it happens on Sunday. And then maybe some lingering showers Monday before drying out Tuesday, Wednesday. Your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast for central eastern Siskiyou County. 56 out at Tule Lake, 64 degrees out in McLeod, and 62 degrees for Mount Shasta City. Your Modoc County neighborhood forecast. There's the isolated showers, mainly this morning, by the afternoon, most likely dry. Dry for Friday. Look at the snow levels Sunday. So that's mainly Saturday night, Sunday morning. Could be down to about 3,500 feet. And then there you can see your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast. Mainly dry today and tomorrow. Maybe some thunderstorms on Saturday. A few stray showers here and there, possibly Sunday into Monday. Your Lake Elminor, Lassen Park forecast. Yeah, it's not warming up a whole lot. We're getting those higher elevations. Chester, though, about 67. Look for a high, though, out towards Manzanita Lake with a high of about 56 degrees. And to the south, Paradise, not bad, a high of 71. You're dry today and tomorrow. It's that rain and thunderstorms kicking in on Saturday. Dry for Paradise Sunday, but again, Susanville, you may see a stray shower Sunday and possibly into Monday as well. Here's your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by NorCal Tractor. Those temperatures upper 70s to about 80. 80 degrees for Orland, 81 for Willows. Breezy, borderline windy today, tomorrow. Rain, especially in the morning, right? And then by the afternoon, scattered showers and thunderstorms. That's the case for everyone in the valley here for your Saturday. There you can see 76 for Redding, 75 for Palo Cedro, and Lakehead, a high of about 70 degrees. So there's your 7-day outlook for Redding. Breezy, borderline windy today, tomorrow. There, of course, is the rain, the thunderstorms, and then it looks like on Sunday, dry, and then we have that warming trend as we take you through next week as well. All right, folks, so there you have it. And so let's talk about that. Let's talk about the rain that we have. As it stands right now, it's looking like a morning event, early morning. Okay, and then by the afternoon, really even by noon, before noon, it's dry with clearing. Now, we have to remind ourselves, this time of the year, as we go into spring, when you get that clearing and you have the colder air aloft, it's a very unstable atmosphere. So I do anticipate we could see some thunderstorms as we take you through the afternoon hours, but I can't tell you exactly where it will be. All right, so some of us may see a thunderstorm, others won't. So it's one of those situations where you just kind of have to keep your eye to the sky. And not to mention those lower snow levels. Let's see here. That's good news, Mike. We have a rodeo in Etna this Sunday. The archery is on Saturday. So, again, the archery, rain in the morning, but by late morning, early afternoon, it should be dry. But then there could be some stray showers and thunderstorms through the afternoon. Speaking of, let's see here. Good morning for Palo Cedro. We need no rain. I can't keep up with the weeds now. Okay, so you don't need the rain. Yes, the weeds are no fun. But this rain is good for us. It's good for us, this water. So it's awesome. Late in Reading. Probably you mean like late, I'm not exactly sure. Why do very many mosquitoes in Reading as well is in City of Shadow? Well, of course, you know, if you got the ponding water, if you got little puddles of water all over the place, ponds, all that stuff, that's where they breed. It's a breeding ground for it. So that's probably what's going on with the mosquitoes. I'm not a mosquito expert, so that would be my overall thought. It'd be interesting to see what the experts have to say. How does the wind look for Sunday? The wind probably won't be that bad on Sunday. I mean, I still expect it to probably be a little breezy, but the winds will probably pick up again on Monday, Tuesday. Here's the bottom line. The winds have been kind of off and on and breezy all week long, and I anticipate that to probably continue into the weekend, but overall, the wind shouldn't be too bad. Yes, we will remember the rain in August and be thankful. That is right, Lynn. So let's be thankful for the rain now, even though it may damper some of our outdoor plans. The rain is good. This is good. It's filling up our lakes, which are lakes, as you recall, let's take a look at this. Let's go back to it. This is something to rejoice as well, right? The lake levels. What did I do with them? Where are they? I have so many maps. So many. I know I had the lake levels in here somewhere. What did I do with them? Oh, yeah, that's right. I put them over here. What? Wait a second. I know I showed them. Didn't I show you the lake level? You know what? I must not have shown you the lake levels. I meant to. All right, well, let me just throw it in here. Crazy. Why am I not seeing it? That's weird. All right, so let's take a look at those lake levels here real quick. This is awesome. So, number one, I've been noticing Lake Oroville. It's been rising and rising and rising. In the last 24 hours, it has risen over 2 feet. Now, the elevation, wait a second, 899. That doesn't seem right. Hold on, folks. What's going on here? That doesn't seem right at all. What did I do there? Let's see here, climate. I'm going to take a look at the lake levels here real quick. Give me just a second, folks. I think that I may have done a little typo there. Sometimes it's early in the morning, and well, you know how it is. Yeah, the lake level is actually 896, so that's off because I must have unfortunately did something wrong there, but. All right, so that puts it at 3.77 feet from the top. It's just under 4 feet from the crest. That's awesome. I love that. That's phenomenal. All right, I must have. You're right. I don't know why I can't find it in my show though. That is so weird. I am literally like just scanning, and nowhere to be found the ones that I showed you, the lake level that I showed you. Oh, no, it's not there. Not there. Oh, there it is. I did show you at the very top, at the very beginning. You're right, Robin. Thank you. Thank you for not. So I know I'm not crazy, although I think I'm a little crazy. I think I'm going a little crazy here. But yeah. All right. Any questions? Because I know a lot of events, a lot of plans for the weekend, and Saturday was kind of the big story. Rain, right? And rain all day long. But that may not be the problem anymore, right? It may just be a morning event, and you may be able to at least just watch the radar and just watch the weather to see. But it's not going to be a washout, I think, on Saturday. I think we'll see that heavy rainfall at times in the morning, and then maybe some clearing. So that should be good. Gremlins in the system, Lisa. Yes, I think I do have gremlins in my system, or just maybe in my brain. Okay, well that's gonna cover it from there. But remember, for those of you watching, I mentioned this. I've got tickets right here to the Reading Rodeo for all 4 nights: Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm sorry, Thursday, Friday. Oh, yeah, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I got them for all 4 nights. We'll be doing a giveaway next week right here on Coffee with Krueger. So be sure to check in here and watch. Tell your friends, tell your family if they want to win free tickets, where they can go for a chance to win free tickets. We will do that. Like I say, I've got them for all 4 nights. So we'll kind of see what we have to give away. So let's plan on that. Let's have some fun with that. But in the meantime, get out there. Oh, we didn't do this yet, but let's do it. Let's take a look at the National Calendar Day. There you have it. There you can see a National Life Insurance Day. Oh, come on. There's a little push to sell some life insurance. Oh, this is fun. National Truffle Day. National Day of Prayer. Now, if you're not into prayer, you could probably do a National Day of Meditation. Meditation, prayer, it's all good. So maybe spend a little bit of a little extra time in your day and, be grateful for the things that you have. Or pray for those that you love. Pray for yourself, pray for your family, pray for loved ones. National Montana Day. Oh, there's a little plug for Montana to go visit Montana. Although I've never really spent any time in Montana. I have always wanted to kind of check out Montana. Beautiful area. I know that. School Lunch Hero Day. Well, then maybe this is a day for the kiddos to thank the folks behind the counter that prepare your food for the day. That's a lot of work. They got to make a lot of food for a lot of kids, a lot of hungry kids, a lot of kids that are just wanting to eat. National Textiles Day. You got to love some of these days. Textiles Day? I don't know. Oh, there's more. Usually there's only that first row of 6. National Sand Architect Day. I don't even know what that is. National Raspberry Popover Day. What? What is that? It looks good based on the picture. Then we've got National Chocolate Custard Day. See, the thing is, you got all these desserts in there. You got So if you want to celebrate the desserts, you got 3 desserts to eat. National Raspberry Popover Day, National Chocolate Custard Day, and don't forget National Truffle Day. Maybe you could put them all together and make sure that the truffle inside has a raspberry. And then you're covered because you got the chocolate in there. I don't know, well, I mean, it's not a turnover or popover, but I don't know. Montana is my favorite state to visit. Well, yeah, maybe you're onto something. Maybe I need to make sure, because is it Yellowstone in Montana? I believe it is. And that's a trip that my wife and I have been eyeing, is heading up to Montana. We're heading up to Yellowstone in general. Maybe making a road trip up there. We've also talked about flying up, going and checking out the National Monument and all that good stuff, and then renting a car and heading out. But should be fun. I love the mountainous areas. You got the Grand Tetons out there. Going through Idaho. I've never really spent Wyoming. Thank you, Lynn. See, what do I know? I've always wanted to go and check out all of those areas, though, even into Idaho area as well. I've heard a lot of good things about Idaho. Apparently there's a community in Idaho, or in Idaho in general. Some of the communities are growing like crazy. People are moving out of California, out of the big cities in Washington and Oregon, and they're moving over to Idaho, of all places. Kind of interesting. Yeah, there you have it. Thank you, Lynn, for kind of giving me a reminder on that. Well, I've got the music going. You probably can hear it. Yeah, the music's going. So that's kind of a sign that we're kind of wrapping things up. So let's do this. Let's take you to some cameras and wrap up the show and call it a morning, shall we? In the meantime, thank you all so much for watching this morning. Again, tell your friends, tell your family to go and watch Weather NorCal. Watch for details and updates on Coffee with Krueger starting next week when we start doing giveaways for the Reading Rodeo. Here is a shot of Lake Oroville, North Forebay. What a gorgeous, crystal clear blue day, although some high clouds, not much in the way of winds, and that lake is looking gorgeous. Have yourselves a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.